Hello everyone and welcome to our first long form video. In this video we are gonna grade every creature design from Jurassic World Rebirth on how accurate they are. That means that we are not gonna grade only the dinosaurs, also the other prehistoric animals. But that also means that we are not gonna grade the hybrids or mutants or whatever they were, like the D-Rex or the hybrid between the raptor and the pterosaur. We are not gonna grade those because we can't tell how accurate they are because they didn't exist in real life. Spoilers ahead. Simple. Okay, so let's start with the Apatosaurus. The Apatosaurus was the sauropod that got stuck in a bridge at the start of the movie. And not gonna lie, it was a pretty good scene. The design was simple, but in my opinion pretty realistic and well made. No big complaints, maybe his size was a bit overblown, but it might as well been a pretty big specimen, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. A good start for the movie so far. Next up is Aninoratus. In my opinion, one of my favorite pterosaurs, so I'm very happy they put him in the movie in any capacity. His design wasn't perfect. They put some decisions about his design that I personally don't like. I would like him to feel more fluffy because the current consensus about him it's that they had proto feathers and they would be like fur, so it would be fluffy. But the design was decent. I like the color they use, and its size was pretty accurate, so I would say it's a good 7 out of 10. Next up is the Compsognathus or Compy. I like the color change, but where are the feathers? Compsognathus in real life had feathers. It was covered in them. The color red with some fluffy feathers would go so well. It would have been amazing, but with the current design, I will give it a 6 out of 10. Next up is the Dilophosaurus, which is basically the classic Jurassic World Dilophosaurus design, which also means it's horrible, it's trash, it's garbage, I hate it. Nah, I'm just kidding, it's a good creature design, but it's not Dilophosaurus. We have no reason to think that Dilophosaurus had the frill, like the frill lizard. The crests are accurate, the crests were on there, but in real life it couldn't spit poison, and it would have been the size of a fucking grizzly bear. Hello, is Oboga Animal World from the future here. In the original recording, I forgot to put the grading for the Dilophosaurus design is a 3 out of 10. Is bad, as I said. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Next up is the Mosasaurus, which it's a good design. It's a good design. A few nitpicks, like I would like it to have a fourth tongue, like a monitor lizard, because Mosasaurus was a marine reptile which evolved from lizards. It's arguably itself a lizard. So personally, I would have enjoyed to see that detail. Its size is a bit overblown, and the color, I don't feel like it would be realistic for a marine creature to have that. A fully marine creature to have that color in the ocean. But in rest, it's a pretty good design. I would give it an 8 out of 10. Not gonna lie, it's a pretty good design, and I very much enjoyed it. Next up is Aqualops. First of all, I enjoyed the design. It's pretty cute. It had a decent role in the story, I guess. Not really narrative related, but it brings a nice touch to the movie, and it was adorable. Also, my editor thought it was a baby of a bigger ceratopsian, and he thought that at the climax of the movie, its mother will come and save the protagonist, which was fucking hilarious. His reaction when I told him that's a grown adult who needs to pay taxes, priceless. Anyway, I would have enjoyed to see the proto-feathers used as spikes that is currently theorized that it had. And also the frill was a bit too big in my opinion. In rest, a decent design I guess, had a great place in the movie. I really much enjoyed its presence. I will give it a nice 6 out of 10. Next up is the Quetzalcoatl, and look how they massacred my boy. Okay, let's start with the positives. Its size is much more accurate than the last movie, and its behavior was again pretty good. I would give it that, but we are not ranking on behavior too, because if we did that, most of the creature would have much lower scores. But anyway, its design, it's way too inaccurate. Quetzalcoatl, first of all, had a much thinner beak. It had a crest, but it was on its head, not on its beak. And yeah, its design is very, very inaccurate. Also, I'm very annoyed that they called in the movie the Quetzalcoatl and Mosasaur dinosaurs, because they're not. They are not dinosaurs. Not every prehistoric reptile is a dinosaur. Birds are dinosaurs though, but Quetzalcoatl ain't a bird. So yeah, 3 out of 10. Guy. Next up is the Velociraptor, which I will be kind and I will grade it as if it was a Deinonychus, because from my knowledge, they didn't refer in the movie to it as Velociraptor, which we all know they would have referred to it as that, but because we all know that the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park Velociraptors are basically Deinonychus but without feathers, I'll be gentle and grade it based as how accurate of a design of Deinonychus is. And based on that it still doesn't have feathers. So yeah, I guess it's a nice 6 out of 10. Good enough, I guess. It's also a bit too big for a Deinonychus, but much too small, so I can call it a Utahraptor. But yeah, 6 out of 10. Good job. You're not even called the right thing. Next up is the T-Rex design, which had a pretty good update in my opinion. They made it bulkier, which would be very realistic for a T-Rex. And the design, yeah, in general is much more accurate. Its head is a bit shrink wrap, but we are used to that in the Jurassic franchise with big theropods at this point. I enjoyed the boat scene. So yeah, it's a good 8 out of 10 design. I very much enjoyed it. Good design, good scene. Biggest complaint that if they put that detail on, it would have a much higher grade. It would if they had lips. If their teeth wouldn't be showing always and they had lips, it would have been a 9 out of 10. But so far is a 8 out of 10, which very respectable. Next up is Titanosaurus, which from my knowledge at the current moment is a dubious species. We don't really know if it's a true species or it's just another sauropod. So yeah, we are not sure if it's a real species at this point, but I'm gonna grade it anyway. They put on some details that we are not sure how accurate they are. They are not a impulse ability, but I will deduct points from it just to be fair. Its tail was also a little bit too long in my opinion, so I will give it a nice 7 out of 10. Next up is my favorite dinosaur, the Spinosaurus, which had a big update and a big redesign. I'm a bit afraid to give my consensus on it because I can already see after posting this video and saying my thoughts about its design and how much more accurate it is to our current understanding. I could see a Spinosaurus update on a new fossil being discovered and saying, yeah, Spinosaurus had wings or something. I already could see that being a possibility, but I will grade it anyway. And based on our current understanding of Spinosaurus, its new design is very accurate. The colors were a good choice in my opinion. I could see a semi-marine creature having those colors, probably for mating displays or something. In my opinion, they could have made its tail fin a bit more prominent, being more tadpole-like, but it's still there. It still looks good. The new sail is M-shaped, which to my knowledge is our current consensus on how Spinosaurus would look, so I like that. So yeah, I will give it a 9 out of 10. Next on is the Ankylosaurus design, which, not gonna lie, accurate, pretty good, no big complaints. I will give it a 9 out of 10. And the last one, ending the list, is the Pteranodon design, which is pretty accurate, maybe a bit too big, but it's a good design. I will give it a nice 8 out of 10. And with that, we are ending the list. I also didn't grade any of the dead creature we see along the movie because it would be hard to see how accurate they got the details from a corpse. So yeah, maybe I will try to take a look at them and make a second short about this, but we will see. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye! Cadaver. Cadavro. From a fucking editor, please cut that part out and put it at the end of the video. A nice 9 out of 10. Edit a nice grizzly bear. Grizzly bear. Editor, cut this part out. Edited, so I only said. Also, if you want to put all the mistakes I said around the video that you will correct at the end for bloopers. I don't know, feels like a good idea. I think I said that right. Editor, put the text to speech to say it again if I didn't say that right. Anyway,